These next problems are going to involve factoring using the perfect square trinomial formulas, and these formulas are given here. So if you've got, if you notice that you have the first term squared, the second term squared, and then 2 times AB you have there in the middle, that's going to factor to A plus B quantity squared. And it's the same thing where there's a minus for the middle term, that means it'll be a minus. So we want to factor this. It says factor using the perfect square trinomial formula. Now, yes, you could factor this using regular techniques to just make the two different. So in other words, we would just go ahead and do this, and then we put the x there, look for two numbers that multiply to make 144, that add to be 24. So we could go about it that way. But instead, we want to use the perfect square trinomial formula. So what we're going to do here is we notice, first of all, that this term here can be written as x quantity squared, and this one here can be written as a 12 quantity squared. Now, what I notice about the middle is that the middle one, that would be 2 times x times 12. 2 times x times 12 will give us the 24x. So because of that, we're going to go ahead and use this formula here. So because of that, we have the a we know is x and the b is 12, which means that x squared plus 24x plus 144, that factors into x plus 12 quantity squared by using the perfect square trinomial formula. So it's just a matter of identifying what the a and the b is, and you can plug them into the formula. Let's do another one of those. Okay, now this one, it's a little bit different because we've got something in front for these two problems here. We have something in front, not just a regular x. We have something else that's there. We're still going to do the same thing. So this right here, this particular term, that would be the same thing as 4 squared and x squared. We can write both those as squared, or we could also write it as 4x quantity squared. The 25, that can be written as 5 squared. So in this case, the a is going to be 4x and the b is going to be 5. Now, because the middle term is a minus, notice again, if you take 2 times 5 times 4x, 5 times 4x is 20x, but then times 2 would be 40x. Okay, so that we can use the perfect square trinomial formula for a minus. We can use this case. So this is just going to be a minus b quantity squared. So 4x minus 5 quantity squared will be this. Again, you can always multiply it out to make sure you got that correct. That's how you can always check your work here on these problems. Let's do one more. So this one next, we have 100. So we're going to write this as 10 squared x squared, or 10x quantity squared. Now the 1, that can be written just as 1 squared, and that's it. The middle sign is a negative. So this is going to be very similar to the last problem that we did. If you've got a minus 2ab, which we do here, because 1 times 10x would be 10x, but then times 2 would give you 20x, which is what we have here. Then it's going to automatically go into a minus b quantity squared. So a is going to be 10x minus, and the b is going to be 1, and that would be squared. And so that would be fully factored using the perfect square trinomial formulas.